Hey guys, what's going on? Hermdo back with you. We're talking Red Wings, specifically Steve Yzerman's tenure as Detroit Red Wings GM. He was hired in April of 2019, fully 6 years ago now, over 6 years ago. He's entering his seventh season with the Detroit Red Wings. The Detroit Red Wings have not made the Stanley Cup playoffs. They've been close, but we're not able to break in. It's been a frustrating experience for the better part of a decade now. A lot of people want Yzerman's head. There's a lot of people out there that think Yzerman needs more time. Me personally, I don't think he's going anywhere, and I have been disappointed by Steve Yzerman. I can't lie. Some of the moves he makes leave me scratching my head. Some of the trades we're going to get into. We're going to break down the season records. We're going to get into some of his draft picks, his free agency signings, his trades, and overall like some projections for the future. I predict the Wings will probably be kind of low in the Eastern Conference standings in the Atlantic Division. I mean, I think the Bruins will probably be really bad. Canadians will probably be near the bottom. I think teams like the Senators and Buffalo are definitely on the right track. They're heading up. They're improving their situation more than the Red Wings are, which is kind of sad to see. But yeah, teams like, Tampa Bay Lightning, Florida Panthers, Toronto Maple Leafs, probably going to be rounding out the top three, definitely. But let's get into the season records. In 2019-20, it was the COVID shortened season. They were 17-49 and 5. God awful. Worst team in the league, one of the worst teams ever. That's when Yzerman got in. He didn't make any moves that offseason. He was basically just there to observe. And boy, did he see a hell of a lot. That was an awful year. I remember watching those games. If they got down by one or two goals, you could just turn it off because they were not coming back. The 2020-21, another and 10, which is slightly better, but I mean, it's like slightly better than absolute dog shit. That's not saying much. 21-22, they were 32-40 and 10. 22-23, they were 35-37 and 10. So you see incremental increases. There's kind of that jump from 21 to 22 that kind of highlighted some of the Red Wings moves that, some of the way the free agents were gelling, the trades he was making, how he was fixing the salary cap. I can't understate the moves been made to kind of fix this team's salary cap situation. It was absolutely god awful under the last administration. But 2023-24, they were 41-32 and 9. They missed on tiebreakers. I think the last game of the season is when they finally got eliminated. And then last year, 24-25, they were 39-35 and they missed again. They weren't quite as close as they were in 24. 23-24 is the best year the Red Wings have had in Detroit. I mean, in Steve Yzerman's tenure as the GM. Not saying much, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I think that was the year we had Kane, we had Gothisbeer. I think that was Dallas DePringet's first year. They were a bottom-out rebuild, and now they're on the bubble. You could say that. It took them a long time to get here. Is it fair to say Yzerman's done a good job with this team? Is it fair to say they're closer now? It is fair to say that they're closer now, but they're still not close enough, and people are getting very impatient. But one thing, let's go over some of these draft picks he made. Some of these guys over the last 6 years. Moritz Seider, his first draft pick, 2019, he was 6th overall. It was a surprise of the night. Now he's Detroit's cornerstone right-handed defenseman, a Calder winner, signed long-term. Lucas Raymond, 4th in 2020, top-line winger, extended long-term, might be just as good as Tim Stützle, if not better. Edvinson, 6th, and trade up for Sebastian Cossa, 15th, a big two-way left-handed defenseman, and a high-ceiling goalie bet. Yes, Sebastian Cossa is still in the minors, probably will be for a while. There's a couple other goalies in that draft that people wanted Yzerman to take, but no, he had eyes set for Cossa. People thought that might have been a bit of a reach, but, well, time will tell. But Sebastian Cossa is looking good. He's had some moments where you're just like, yeah, I don't know. But, I mean, for the most part, it looks like he's got the makings of a pretty decent goaltender. Marco Kasper, 8th overall. Two-way center, broken full-time at 24-25. Marco Kasper has been very good for us. He's been filling that second-line center spot and doing a good job. Will probably be paid with Kane and DeBrincat next season. Should be a pretty good line, pretty productive line, I would wager. Nate Danielson was 9th in 2023. Axel Sandin-Pellikka was 17th. Projection center plus elite moving right-handed defenseman. People are really, really high on Nate I'm sorry, but Nate Danielson's getting his props. He could be definitely a guy, a good guy for some center depth down the line. Axel Sandy Pellica, people are talking about him. They're raving about him. I believe he's in the SHL right now, the European League, but best prospects right now. And then we 2024, we got Michael Brandsteg Nygaard, 15th overall, first Norwegian first rounder, power winger archetype. We don't know much about him yet. I'm going to get more in depth into some of these prospects. This is just a quick overview right now, but he had 7 first rounders and 5 drafts under Yzerman, reshaped the core and pipeline. You can see his drafting has been good. Good, if not very good. So let's get into the free agents or the trades so far. Alex DeBrincat from Ottawa, signed for 4 years, 7.875 million, an elite finisher, and he's in his prime. He's still a 40-goal guy at 39 goals for the last year. But yeah, it's probably his best his so far is probably Alex DeBrincat, the big guy. He signed him to a pretty short-term contract. I don't know if he's going to get an extension. If he keeps playing like this, he definitely will. But he sent Philip Hronek to Vancouver for a first in they turned into a New York Islanders pick and a second in 2023. It's a value extraction before a big raise. That was kind of trade before pay situation. Anthony Mantha, remember that trade is one of Yzerman's first. Washington for Vrana, Richard Panik, and a 2021 first and a 2022 second. Classic Sell High Futures Haul. Vrana did not work out. It was kind of a mess for the team. We thought this guy could be a dude that could bring us 30, 40 goals a year. Remember how good he was on Washington. He won a cup with Washington back in 2018. We're thinking Jacob Vrana, young guy, dynamic guy, could really fit into the top six, and bring us some, have a good goal scorer for the future, but it just did not work out. He had too many problems. It was a real tragedy. But the Alex Nedeljkovic trade in 2021, he became like an all-star with like the Penguins. But we got Wallman and Sundqvist in a return via St. Louis trade deadline deal. And Wallman got packed off to San Jose. Kind of a head scratch. Not sure about the motivations behind that, but in another video, I'll probably get into that a little bit more. And then we got John Gibson from Anaheim in the this past off seasons. Definitely be a guy like a starting goalie type guy, probably move of the off season so far. The free agency approach, signing guys like Patrick Kane, 1 year, $4 million deal, and after the in-season 2023-2024 ad re-upped for 1 year, $3 million for 2025-2026 after a 59-point year. Patrick Kane is a big deal. It was a good signing. The guy is definitely still hungry to play hockey, even though he's getting into his late 30s. But that's definitely something people like. They like the Patrick Kane signing. Kind of bizarre to see him. I remember him slapping around. I remember the Chelsea Dagger days where Patrick Kane would be slapping around the Red Wings back in the 2010s. It was pretty pathetic, but Kane's a wing now, probably will be. I don't know. I'm not sure how much longer he's going to stay in the Wings, but he's definitely a part of that rebuild. Can we have like long-term success with him before he retires? I don't know. Enjoy one, but Yzerman's also brought a new 6 depth and D signings over the years. Perron, stopgap defenders. Perron wound up leaving. That was kind of a shame. He left the same year that Gothenspur left. That was another trade that was very good, the 2023-2024 season. And those two guys are gone now. It's kind of a shame, but yeah, it's one of those things, but the cap and core management locked in core long-term extensions for Raymond, 8 years at about $8 million. Sider, 7 years at about $8.5 million. Anchor Detroit cost certainty on a right winger and a right defenseman entering their primes. So yeah, you're going to see other guys, other right wing defensemen, other top 6, top 4 guys, the top pairing guys, the big dudes that are like basically the quarterbacks of the team, like on the power play and whatnot, the guys that hit the most points. You're going to see those guys getting like $10-12 million deals, big cap hits. But I've been locked these guys in long term at very cap friendly deals. He has a prime window scorer in Alex DeBrincat. He has kind of a short term thing in net with Gibson, who could win us some cups. 2 years at $6.4 million annual average value remaining at trade. It bridges to Kosa. He could lead us into the Kosa era. The acquisition cost was a 2027 second and a 2026 fourth with Mrazek. The blue chip skaters. Overall, the pattern is cost control, elite young core, flexible veteran layer, so prospects can earn minutes when ready. A draft hits and conviction. We'll get into that. What's worked and what hasn't. Axel Sandy Pellica, Danielson, Casper, and MBN. Detroit, multiple chance to add top 4 defenseman, top 6 forward. on entry-level contracts. The Mantha Hironic deals are sell before pay moves that replaced picks and cap runway targeted needle movers. DeBrincat, prime scorer, Kane, short-term value, but just a finishing. Gibson tackles a multi-year goalie gap. What hasn't worked, the weaknesses, the risks, 2 straight near misses in a row, 5-on-5, 2-way consistently in goaltending depth, still lag behind East contenders. Goalie volatility, investing term, AAV, and a 30-plus starter. Gibson is a risk if decline or injuries pop up before Kosa is truly ready. Middle six short deals preserve flexibility but can create year-to-year chemistry turnover. Yeah, that was a problem, especially during the short time. What was the dude's name? Our last coach, the guy. Crap, what was his name? I totally am blanking on it. Oh, Derek Lalonde. Yeah, during the Derek Lalonde, you could definitely tell the Derek Lalonde era. There's definitely a lot of chemistry issues on that team, and they were pretty much shut them out. I don't think that the turnover in the top six was really conducive to his time here. It definitely wasn't. But with Raymond and Snyder locked in, DeBrincat scoring a deep prospect pool, Detroit projects as a mid-80s to mid-90s point team that becomes playoff regular once or two. Danielson, Casper, Michael Brandstad, Nygaard props up Arcania. Kosa and Gibb deliver average goal. Keys to next step. They need more top 6 center consistency. They need more right side defensive impact. Need more stable goaltending, cap outlook. But it should be, like I said before in an earlier video, we're going to have tons and tons of cap space in the next couple of seasons, and contracts are coming off the book. We'll see. We're going to finally stop paying just on advocate or something nice. But yeah, there are things that are looking up for the Red Wings. Yzerman's tenure has been process-driven and patient, stack elite young talent, protect the room with veterans, flip expendable pieces for futures, commit long-term only to true pillars. The results have moved Detroit from teardown to on the brink, converting the prospect capital. One more top 6 producer, firming up the crease. Should be a difference between another bubble season and ending the drought. If you want, we can talk more about this. I'll follow up more with this as we go on. We can discuss more of this kind of stuff. I'll offer more of this kind of stuff to you guys, more breakdowns and whatnot. As we enter the Red Wings season, the Red Wings training camp is coming up. We'll have more and analysis. We'll talk a little bit about, maybe we'll get some coverage of the Grand Rapids Griffins, see how those guys are doing, see what the prospect pool is really all about. But yeah, I want to say the Red Wings future is getting brighter. It's hard for me to do that. If they miss the playoffs this season, it'll be a mess. It'll be a real mess. Whether or not you think Yzerman's doing a good job, but leave a comment down below. I appreciate everyone watching. I really do. I love discussing the Red. I love talking about Yzerman here. I know a lot of guys need to be let go. Do an episode. If you don't like Steve Yzerman and you want him gone, I totally and completely understand. I'm kind of the middle road here. If you hate Yzerman, I understand. If you love Yzerman, want to give him more time, I understand. This is a judgment-free zone. But if you don't like Yzerman, if you think he needs to go, give me a couple names of some GMs you think can replace him. Who do you think is out there that can possibly carry the torch for Steve Yzerman and do a better job than him, really get Red Wings back into contention instead of just this long, drawn-out process where we sniff the playoffs but we don't get in. But that's all I got for you guys for right now. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Subscribe to Hermdo. Subscribe to Detroit Fan Forum. We're putting out videos all the time for you guys. Love doing this stuff, having a lot of fun. But yeah, leave a comment down below. Let me know how to chat. We can just chat about whatever. But that's all I got for you guys for right now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Go Wings.
No, I thought you said I was all right, Spider. So
No, you ain't all right, Spidey. You got a lot of fucking problems.
No, I thought you said you were all right.